All right, guys, a couple things here today. Number one, I'm taking out some trees, these live oaks here. And I got my pole saw charging up because if I try to drop this tree that direction with that limb on it, that's a very difficult drop. Even with what I'm going to do, I may still get the truck and tie a ratchet strap there and pull some tension on it with the truck when I go to finally drop it. But I'll take as much of that branch off as I can with a pole saw. As you can see, it's right over my fence. I'm actually not worried about getting hurt doing this. What I'm worried about doing is hurting that fence. I need that fence, and that fence is actually why I'm taking this tree out today. The one I already took out, and if you ever wanted a tree that sucks, it's live oak. The amount of wood you get to slash ratio out of these things, there's basically the firewood that came out of that tree right there, except for that piece there and a few little pieces of kindling over there. And all that slash, there's just ridiculously bushy trees. But this tree here, the angle it was on, we lost a duck the other night, even with the electric fence. And I think it's a fox that we've been having problems with, and he probably climbed that tree and dropped in. And so we're removing these trees, and I got to figure out what to do with this one over here. I really don't want to lose that one. What I might do is prune it way up and put some hot wire around it and run a little piece of insulator wire underneath and just basically put some hot wire around it so if somebody tries to go up that tree, it gets its ass fried. But then I'm gonna have to constantly stay on pruning that privet out from underneath it. So I don't know, because I really think, you know, the solution might be to take out this side right here, these three proms, and leave this kind of one here and just prune that off and let that grow out that way. It's not really a very useful tree, but it does give them some shade. But I could definitely see a fox making that leap, and certainly a bobcat. So that tree's probably got to go. But the other reason I wanted to get the camera out while I'm doing this is, you know, I don't have the camera woman, so I can't film getting rid of the whole deal. But I did a review, real quick review, a lot long ago on that little guy right there and his plug-in big brother, the Oregon Power Now chainsaw. And I was cutting this same wood, and I think it backfired on me. What I tried to do was find the hardest damn thing I could find to cut, which was this wood, but like 2 years old. I don't think people understand how hard this wood gets once it ages. So I've got a piece there about the size from that video, last piece off of there. And I'm gonna set this little tripod down here, and I'm gonna cut that with a battery-powered chainsaw. Again, it is a live piece of wood, but this is live oak. This is hard stuff. Watch the difference. One little hiccup there. That's because I hit the pallet and the kickback blade locked off. But you can see, it's got plenty of size to it. Maybe we'll go through this. I'll see if I can get the camera on that. I'm very impressed with this saw as an electric chainsaw. I'm trying to figure out how I can put that where you can see me cut without me. I can go behind it and fit back there. We'll just cut a piece of that off. Best part, give it a little sharpening. Blade sharp as a razor now. Here we go. And again, that's just the kickback brake doing its job there. It's not locking power in any way. There you go. Again, you're talking about a rechargeable, battery-powered chainsaw. That's live oak. It's a good tool. So Sorry I didn't make it look as good as it really was with the other stuff. We'll catch up with you later after we get all this work done. All right, guys, fast forward a couple hours later, and the deed is done. You guys are going to bed tonight. I know you're scared, but you're going. You're safe now. Took those 2 trees out to the ground. And just look, these electric saws, man. All this with this these 2 electric saws. A pole saw didn't do a lot of the heavy work, but it was invaluable in getting that overhang cut in small pieces so that it didn't drop on the fence, or what did hit the fence didn't matter. And ditto over here, that whole piece, these 2 trees taken out. And I got cleanup work to do, but I'm freaking tired. I want a beer. My wife's on the way home with dinner. I'm ready to take a freaking break. But we should have no more problems with Fox getting in. Again, we got a high wire and a low wire out here. That's right, guys, bedtime. All ducks go to bed. They're coming, but they're leery. One thing about your ducks, guys, they're not like chickens. They won't just keep going back if they're getting attacked by predators. If they don't want to go to bed at night, and they usually do just go for you, something's wrong. You need to check into it. But we got just a, as I said, these, I hate cutting down trees, I really do, but I've cut down 1 for every probably 50 I've planted, and 30 that I've planted have survived. So I think we're even. But talk about a low value tree. There's your firewood, if you want to call it that, your bollwood. Here's your slash. And just keep going. And we just keep going. And there's a little bit of firewood you can get out of there, but the little stuff you normally take for most trees, you can't be bothered with these trees. These things are horrible. And you know, you take out basically 4 trees and some privet, a little clump of privet, and you use power tools. And you think back to the settlers that went west and just found a patch and cleared 40 acres and put their mule on it. And you wonder what those people were made of. I mean, they used fire, obviously, as part of one of their tools, but still, I mean, you can't just set the woods on fire. You've got to cut breaks and stuff like that. To be able to do what those people did, they were made of something special. You know, everybody says the World War II generation was the greatest generation. I think they were a great generation, but I think maybe the settlers of the early 1800s that settled this country and, you know, started out with something that looks more like that down there and turned it into something more like this. Those guys were, if they weren't the greatest, they were a damn great generation. But just put it in perspective again. 2 saws. Now I do have 2 batteries, 2 of the long amp life batteries for this saw. But really, that little saw right there did all of this in about 2.5 hours, maybe 3. You missed the sunset. It was there when I started the video, but I didn't point the camera at it. The red's gone from the sky. Sun's going down. It's Friday night. Wife will be coming through the gate soon. I'm ready for a break. Time for you guys to go to bed. We'll get the ducks to bed, and I'll catch up with you guys maybe a couple times this weekend. All right, everybody's in bed. They were a little nervous, but they went. They should be safe now. Wife's home, so it's time for dinner. But I thought I'd show you real quick, guys, with a fence. It's always important to test your electric fence to make sure it's working right. We actually put a kill switch in over there, so we can kill the whole fence, so it's a little easier to work around instead of just, you know, detaching the insulated handles and stuff like that, because we've got kind of a unique way we've done this I won't go into tonight. But this is a fence tester. It's stuck into the ground down there, at least it was. So the way you work this, you stick this in the ground, little probe, that's a ground, and put that on one of the wires, and you see it blinking there up to 7,000 volts. So Mr. Fox comes back tonight after you girls, he's gonna get a good zap. Now what if you don't have this little $18 tool, or what if you have it but you can't find it, you need to test your fence? Well, what you can do, get a metal tool with an insulated handle like wood or plastic or rubber. Screwdriver works well. Touch your fence here, and see that? Well, you know you're good there, right? And the other thing you want to do is touch it to the ground. So we touch it to the ground. That's Mr. Fox's foot. There's Mr. Fox's little nose. He completes the circuit, and he gets popped. All right? That's what we're looking for. I have a 25-mile box, and I'd estimate I got about a quarter-mile of wire. So if he comes down and bothers you girls tonight, look for him to spin head over heels and run away. But it's been a long day, guys. I'm going in for a beer and dinner.